What up, man? Water in your mouth. Perfect, because I'm going to start this podcast with a little story. You ever watch Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Okay. So season 3 of Game of Thrones rolls around, and they introduce a character, the Red Viper. And he's a fucking badass. He comes from Dorne and wields a spear, and he's coming to get a little vengeance on the mountain. But you don't know that. He's just kicking ass, and he has beautiful girls with him. And then one episode, he starts fucking dudes. And you're like, oh, man, Red Viper's fucking dudes. But the funny thing was, despite the fact that he was fucking dudes, no one liked the Red Viper any less. He just liked to fuck everybody. He's a badass who liked to fuck everybody. And at that moment, I realized, like, you know what? There's a lot of room for someone who, like, owns their sexuality, owns their bisexuality, doesn't give a fuck, and is still a badass. And then I realized that we had our very own Red Viper in our midst, fucking Jason motherfucking Ellis.
I hope nobody puts their thumbs inside my eyes and crushes my brain.
Well, you know, some
I'm not as cocky as that. If I had him, I would have finished him right there.
Totally, right?
Yeah, I would not have done the
chance.
Yeah, I would not have marched around talking about old times. I got you, you're dead. Yeah. Fucked up. But yeah, the gay shit, he definitely owned it. Didn't his sister own it as well? When they boning everybody and they were related?
Yeah, they didn't care.
Oh, man. Everybody loved them.
But everybody loved him. There was no dude that was like...
Did they love them?
Well, there was no dude.
You just said they were hated. He was hated.
No, he was loved.
Okay.
There was nobody... I never talked to a single guy.
I don't feel loved about it. I feel like this real world is not like the Game of Thrones world of the show. And I feel like it's kind of a bad idea.
No, I disagree. I disagree on all fronts. First of all, everybody, despite the fact that he was fucking dudes, nobody didn't like the Red Viper. And despite,
do you think it was because he could also kill everybody as well?
Yeah, because he owned it and he was badass. Right. And everybody who meets you, fucking, despite the fact that you fuck dudes, they love you too.
Do they?
Yes, they do, Jason. And that's, I think, a great sign of the times. Because what it is it's just fucking owning who you are. And I think there's room now in the public perception, like the public mind, for someone who's like, just really owns what they're about. And I think this like is the future, like the renaissance of what is going to become available, where it's like, you don't really care. It's not that big a deal. But what do you think? Because you're actually the guy.
I know. Well, it's weird. Like a couple of months ago, I would have said, yeah, man, you're so right. Well, I don't know, man. I feel like maybe there's like a little secret society of people that, I don't want to say secret. It's kind of like, you know how a lot of Trump supporters, I know I'm doing this, but I feel like a lot of Trump supporters are like, yeah, finally we can admit we're racist and be proud of it. I mean, I know that sounds like I'm a liberal. I'm not. I just think that I've noticed that there's a lot more people in America that have always obviously been racist, but now it's sort of like, you know, fuck yeah, man, like this is how it's always been. I'm like, whoa, what? I'm like,
so you're finding some blowback.
Fuck yeah, I'm finding some blowback.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Because all I see is love. I see love all around. I see love in your comments.
Who's gonna come and tell Aubrey Marcus that, you know, Jason's faggotry is pissing me off?
So, all right, let's take a step back. So for people who don't know your backstory, I mean, they probably know a bit about who you are, but like, what has this kind of journey been? When did you realize you're like, look, I just kind of like to fuck, and it doesn't really matter who or what. I'm just fucking into it.
I've always known that I've always been into sleeping with people for different reasons. I've never just always found myself, I need to go out with a super attractive woman because, I mean, I've also done that. I've experienced like having somebody super hot so that everybody around me is like, yeah, you're the man. And I'm like, I told you, like, look at her. But I've also had things where,
I don't think very few people have ever gotten out of that trap. You know, like I see that shit happening to myself.
I was going to say, you're the king of it, but
I don't know if I'd say the king of it, but all right, you know, I'm admitting my fuck.
Look, I don't go out a lot, so I'm sure there's somebody else worse than you, but you're fucking terrible. I mean, holy shit. Nicest people ever, though, all the ones you know.
That's right.
Yeah.
But for the most part.
Wow, hard to concentrate when they're in the room, though. They're very, very attractive. So where was I? Because I can't even think straight.
You're telling why you like to fuck different
people. Okay, so yeah, I've always wanted to bone people. I knew it when I've had sex with enough people where I was like, there's people that I can have sex with and I can tell from across the room that we'd be good at having sex with each other. And you might not be the hottest girl in the room. I've always been right when it comes to that one. So I've always been into that one. And then
you're like the fuck whisperer.
Yeah.
You just know.
I can tell. I used to do it in the airport. I was like, who's the second chick I'd want to fuck the most in the airport? Because there's like long lines and shit. Because the first one's easy. Because I'm that good at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, who's the second one that would be the best together?
You gotta go deep to challenge yourself.
It's usually a bigger girl too. Because it's like you need more weight to push me back. And I think maybe there might be something to do with dudes with that. Because they have like more power. Because I try to bang a lot of weightlifters and stuff. I always thought that if I banged China, like she would be able to beat me. You know what I mean? Like if she was big.
Yeah.
She was nowhere near stronger than me. Like I fucked the crap out of her like a little girl. Wasn't you know what I mean? That was the opposite of what I thought.
If you fuck China and it feels like a little girl, you gotta fuck dudes.
Right. That's not really how it worked.
Oh, okay.
How it happened.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I think you're born a little one way, man.
Yeah.
Or the other.
So it was always you always had kind of a vibe. Kind of a vibe for both.
Yeah, I mean, I was abused when I was a kid, and then there was a few things that happened. I had a friend that we did stuff to each other, and there was a couple of friends that we did stuff with each other, but it was always they did something to me, and I was like, man, did you just make me gay? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, if it happened, I think it happened 3 times, maybe 2 times, I can't remember, and I'm like, that's too many times for a straight person to get blown by a guy. You know, that's too, you're gay.
Did you think maybe I'm straight until you finished and then you're like, oh, I'm gay?
No, not at all. No, as soon as I let that happen, I was like, you got gay tendencies, dude. Yeah. And then, you know, started doing drugs, getting older and going to gay bars every now and then. There'd be like a thing where I would do a lot of drugs, like E-bombers and stuff. And I would chew a lot of them. Like
pressed ecstasy pills?
Yeah. I would be the guy like, everyone's got ecstasy. And I'm like, do you have 4? And they'd be like, why 4? And I'm like, well, if you don't have 4, I'm not going to do one because I don't do them unless I've got 4 of them. That's just how I do them.
Yeah.
Because I'd been doing them and I'd figured out how it worked. You only want to have 4. If you have 1, it's like you start a kit. Then you run out. It's bullshit. So I'll do that. And then people would wear out. Girls would wear out. And, the jerk off party. And then I found gay bars and gay dudes would just jump on me and just blow me for as long as I wanted while I was on E-bombers. And transgender girls in the club. At that point, I was like, man, if you're just blowing me in the bathroom and you're just some super hot giant chick and I've chewed 4 E-bombers, like you are a girl. I don't know any better. I wasn't doing anything back to anybody. It wasn't till way later and I got older. I mean, there might have been a couple of times where I was so high that things had happened, but it wasn't that's like unconscious sex that somebody had like done to me kind of stuff.
Right.
But me like blowing a guy or wanting to or having that plan is only since I started going out with Katie and things started to escalate with transgender girls. Like we would have threesomes and it's like, if you're not going to suck the dick, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like everybody, she just licked her pussy. I'm not going to blow her. That doesn't make any sense. So then, I always used to think it was weird when gay guys would come over and blow me and thank me for it and leave. And I'm like, that's it. That's all you want. And you're very fulfilled. Almost looks like you're more fulfilled than me. You didn't even come. I don't understand how you did that. And then I started to understand. I go to the gay spas and I just go to the steam room all the time.
So did you start? Because there's always been this classic distinction between like giving and taking, as far as like a male with another male. Like even back in ancient Roman times, there's like a slur for someone who takes it in the ass. Like they would scribble it on the walls, like Caesar, you fucking taken in the ass guy. And that was like the equivalent of like saying faggot or something like that.
Which is weird.
But everybody was, fucking or getting their dick sucked. And that wasn't gay at all. So there's this like classic, it's almost like prison distinction. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you said that because I'm at the stage right now where I've just started to let, like, I'll if I know him, I'll blow a guy. I've done tons of gay stuff. You can put stuff in my butt to the point where I'm like, oh, the person that is the bottom is the winner. Like I always thought that it was like, if you're the bottom, you're the worst. You know what I mean? Like that's
right.
You're like that. And
but so was that? So that was some.
I think you haven't gone deep enough.
Identity.
Fuck it, it's ego. Because the deeper you go into the gay mix and find out the bits where you're the bottom and all these things happen in your ass, you're the winner. Not the top. And that's why I always thought it was, I'm like, oh, it's such a smorgasbord for me. If I go on Grindr, everybody's a bottom and I'm like, oh my God, you're a straight guy who's a top. They just hammer me. Everybody wants me. I don't, and I'm like, it's so easy for me. Now I get it. Like the more you dive into it, if you're a bottom and you can do it right, your orgasms they're 10 times better than the top.
Right. So, but to get there, you had to. It was always probably in you some kind of urge, but to get there, you had to be okay with being a bottom. You had to look at yourself and look in the mirror and be okay with sucking a dick and be okay
people's opinions
with
of what it looks like
and what everybody else would say about it.
It's Katie telling me that it's hot that you're sucking a dick. That made me initially have a spark that thinks that what that might look like is okay and you don't need to kill yourself.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people have that paralyzing fear that they might be just a little bit gay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And guess what? Everybody's just a little bit gay. Maybe you're fucking 8% gay. Maybe you're 12% gay. Maybe you're 20% gay. I don't give a shit, but I don't think anybody's under 8% gay. And what does 8% gay mean? That means maybe that guy smelled good. You know, like
8% gay is something that is that's so terrifying. If you're 8% gay, that's worse than being gay. Because you can't admit that. You know what I mean? It's 8% of you. It's not worth admitting. You know what I mean? Just move on with your life and pretend that never happened. Seriously. I get how, and I get that's where the shield comes, where you're like, oh, fuck that, you fucking homos, and you know what I mean? And you have to do the thing because you're like, oh, I'm the furthest from gay, trust me. And that, look, this thing has, it multiplies by the day to me because I feel like people treat me different from it. I bring it up on the radio a lot now because I know that when I didn't know what I was, it freaked me the fuck out. And I think I did a lot of drugs, like more drugs, to not face or dive into the mystery of what the fuck I really am. Because there's nobody on TV saying that there was even a person that did that. I remember gay guys
you're
going,
the fucking Red Viper. That's
gay
what
guys
I'm
were
saying.
telling me at after parties that you make no fucking sense. Like how can you fuck a girl and hang out with us? And I'm like, you're gay. And you're saying you don't understand my angle? Have you guys not been prosecuted your whole life? And you're saying I am offending you? Yes. Several gays were offended by my sucking pussy ways. And I was like, man, of all people, I thought you would understand. Nah, you're fucking weird.
Well, because I think there's an equal identity, a tribal identity thing for them as well. There's
people fight each other in football games.
There's probably a bunch of gay people who would actually like to fuck a girl sometimes, but that would like ruin their identity because they've identified in this kind of counterculture way. Like, no, I'm gay, motherfucker.
I've seen gay guys fuck girls before. I've had gay guys come over to my house all high on ecstasy and eat my chick's pussy for like an hour in the pool.
Yeah, and that's probably.
But you could tell he was older and gayer and completely comfortable with it, and was like, "Oh, I haven't eaten a pussy since I was like 17.
So
I'm fucking down there." And I was like, and he's giving it a hell of a job. It wasn't like he's gay, he doesn't know how to do it. She was like into it.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
This whole thing of us deciding our own worth and our own validation based on what we like to do with our genitals. It's like a crazy transitionary period that I think you're like way out in front of. And I don't think it's going to end. I told you this before.
Not in America. America scares the shit out of me now, dude.
It's going to end.
Like France might be like, yeah, man, you're cool. Jason's
I'm not saying we're going to be the leaders.
But I don't think here is going to be cool with
it. It must be.
I'm going to get shot. If my show gets... I feel like my show's kind of plateauing. Like my fame level is over because I'm openly bi, and that's like half of America is just like, well, then maybe I'm not as amusing as I used to be. I don't know. But it's shut down. There's like a whole part of people. There's a bunch of people that know you that won't talk to me. And I know, and I think it's because I'm like openly gay. It makes no sense. You're fucking scattered. How can you be like a guy that's into this and be into that? You're inconsistent. You're going to flip flop and you're not worth being my friend.
Okay. So there's no doubt that you challenge people, you know, just your very presence challenges. My presence challenges, even me being in an open relationship. Like I've had multiple professional athletes with their girlfriends and stuff. Like we'd hang out, we're having a great time, and they get along with Whitney, and then they find out that we're in an open relationship, and then all of a sudden they're not allowed to hang out anymore. They can't visit in Austin. It's like, damn, that's a fucking bummer because our way of life, the fact that we don't possess each other and we're allowed to sleep with other people is really threatening to the traditional model. So for sure, you are a threatening force, particularly if anybody has any of those inclinations like, man, I wonder what it would be like to suck a dick. Then you're just being you is going to challenge people.
I feel like your group of people that you hang out with, like if I didn't have kids, I would move to Austin because I feel like you just have everybody I know that knows you there is just like, hey. It's just always their opinion is, hey. I'm not using a sentence or a word, but that kind of person. It's easier to fucking be you when you walk into a room with a bunch of people that are like, hey, whatever happens is cool, here. That ain't fucking where I exist, man. Like, I'm from the most stereotypical bullshit skateboarders and fighters and people that have pretended to be extra macho their whole life. And your story right there about other athletes are like, oh, I'm not going to hang out now that they know that. Or try this one when you're at the racetrack and you hear someone say, hey, what's up with Ellis and all this fag shit? And they go, what do you mean? It's shit for real? This is a fucking joke. And it's for real, man. He's just, he's
Just
bi.
living life.
The fuck? And then knowing that person's a friend of yours that said that.
Yeah.
And,
I get it.
And then I got it every time I walk into the moto world, because that's the other thing. Like being a radio dude, you're kind of a fancy pants homo. Like you just talk for a living, dude. You ain't hard. You know what I mean? Like I feel like a lot of people these days, from Howard Sterns to Joe Rogans and everybody, you get a little bit of fame. It's like you like almighty wise guy. You walk into the room with this authority because you talk a bunch. Like so you did a lot. Yeah, you analyzed a lot of shit, but that's still just your shit.
But that's the same with anybody who's famous, right?
People have this weight to them now
for sure. But any kind of fame is like a gravity. It's like a gravitational field.
Well,
and that gravitational field creates a distortion around it.
Well, I'm the core of the fucking earth because I'm spinning the other way, dude. You all shit me off. Everyone just clings to everybody, and then nobody wants to make up their own mind and be their own person. And then when you get pointed out, then everybody is like, "Ooh, bandwagon!" You know what I mean? And they all jump on one. It's like, man, that's why I said that I quit the other day on Instagram, just because I knew there'd be like 90% of the people that I don't like on social media are going to be like, "Whoa, good, stop listening."
No, and what happened? I think you have this idea. I think there's probably a small minority that thinks you're a fag and maybe doesn't like you.
Yeah.
But I think most people love you.
Yeah.
And I think that's just generally the perception that I get. And maybe you're right. Maybe I'm in an insulated bubble where all the people I talked to about it, like you drop into a party where we're all hanging and start telling stories. And everybody, not only while you're there, but after you leave goes, man, that's fucking amazing. That's fucking so dope that he just owns it like that. And he's
that's
like,
your house. I'll say, what about if we meet in the middle?
Okay,
because I reckon that would be probably where it would be. Like, I know I'm exaggerating. I know that.
Yeah,
and I know where you are is a little bit above reality. You've got it's people that are trying to grow. Like when I went to the Honor Gym, I can tell people there that I'm like, I don't like you, man. The things that you're into, shit me. But it's I'm not into Crocs and hacky sack. But but if you're into it, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I can tell your mind is in here trying to soak up new shit. You've got that new shit look in your eye. And you're gonna find one of them is gonna be worth it. And I commend you for your journey.
Yeah.
Here, when you just see this, I'm there's only one thing I'm going to do, and there's no way you're going to convince me otherwise. Matter of fact, I'd really appreciate if you try to, so that I can push my shit on you. Because it's like the LA thing just seems like no one's open to change.
Well, LA is one of the most ego exploded places in the world and the ego only knows itself in relative position, right? The ego does not know itself as a true entity, as something that's a true essence that actually generates its own love. The ego only knows itself relatively to other people.
Do you think the ego knows itself once it's had a good beat down? Like, do you think that's the best thing you can do for an ego? Because I don't think you should lose your ego, but I think it needs to be beaten.
You can't. You have to check it. You have to find ways that push it to the point where you actually transcend it and say, okay, I'm not that. And it doesn't really matter. And whatever that method is, it has to happen. Whether it's, for me, it's been psychedelics and open relationship and all these different things that just allow you to just be really humbled. Sometimes if you have a lot of physical ego, maybe jujitsu and getting choked out will actually help. Like, oh, I'm not fucking invincible. I'm not special. I got a neck and this motherfucker can choke me, you know, and that helps. I think there's ways that you have to make sure it doesn't get overblown and out of balance because it's a monster. And like I said, it's just showing itself relatively to everybody else. So it tries to shit on everybody below and it tries to fucking climb up the back of everybody high and knock them down because it's just trying to get to a high position, but it's never going to be happy.
Yes. No, it's never going to be happy. I almost bash mine on purpose because I know that that's the best thing for my ego is to, whenever I get caught in a mistake, I'm the first one to point it out. So I feel like that's the best way to.
You just gotta, like, the more you try to defend it, the more fragile it becomes and the more erratic your behavior is.
I was just about to say the crazier you get defending it.
Oh, fuck. You can get wild.
Yep. I've done that.
Yeah. we all have. And you'll project out reasons why it's not your shit. It's somebody else's shit. It's the world's problem. It's something else. It's unfair. It's blah, blah, blah. And you just keep projecting all that shit. And instead of realizing like, oh, this is my shit. I'm fucking triggered and stressed right now.
Let me get back to this butt fucking thing real quick. Because I feel like I'm missing out on the most important part. Because I feel like there's all these gay rights and lesbian rights and all that stuff. And I've got to defend that now because every now and then I'll get put in that corner where I'm one of those people and you're going to shame me for it. So I'll help defend them for that reason, because I don't really care if you think I'm gay. I know that my kids will find out soon, and I know that it'll all last 20 minutes.
Yeah. And
then they'll go do their life, because it doesn't mean anything. It's like, ew, you're gross. You're gross if you kiss a girl. You're gross if you kiss a guy. I don't want to know what dad does with his private area, ever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do both? Great. Ew. It was just as gross before I knew that you were going to do dudes.
Well, so even talking to like all the girls that I know, everybody who I talk to, like the most unattractive thing is someone who hasn't reconciled their sexuality. Like someone who, like your homie that you know is like, he probably wants to suck a dick, but he's not allowing himself.
See, that's the weirdest one ever. You're saying you know people that you think want to suck
don't? You don't? I mean, they're fucking, it's all over the place. I
just always assume when someone looks like they need to suck a dick that they are sucking a dick. I just don't, I feel like you might have friends
not when they're deep shame and their whole identity is built upon being
Do you mean like they seem very angry, like they're opposite of gay? They come across very hetero, that kind of guy?
Okay, so in Austin, all right, so in Austin, it's not like that because that would get called out immediately. Like if you're like, really homophobic, people are like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, right.
You fucking fat. Like people know that.
Okay.
So what it ends up being is almost slightly overcompensating on the heterosexual side. Like, oh yeah, man, I was out this weekend. I had like 3 chicks and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, really? But when I really catch your vibe, I kind of feel like, when you're really drunk and you're like around other men, it's like you catch a different kind of vibe. And then when they hear them talk, they're talking about all of their exploits with this girl and this person that's met on Bumble and all this stuff. And you're like, why are you even bringing this up right now? Like, what is going on?
And you think that's because they're potentially gay?
In some cases, there's like at least that. So that 8% number that I think is like our home wrestling, it's like 35. Like they're really like actually 35% gay. Maybe they don't want to get like railed in the ass, but they definitely want to make out.
That's man. Everyone's missing. If it's like saying, I really like surfing, but I would never really want to get barreled. It's like, okay, maybe, when you get into surfing, you realize that you're not good enough to go in a big enough wave to get barreled. And you don't want to put in the work of potentially drowning a few times and maybe seeing some sharks to work the groundwork to get in the barrel. Because let's face it, if you surf and you're in the green room and then you get shot out the other end, I've never done it, but that's got to be the best wave ride you can get.
This is an amazing analogy.
Getting on whitewater and just like, hey, there you go, I did the gay thing. Like it's not. You want to get
getting fucked in the ass is getting barreled.
Yeah.
Hashtag getting barreled.
Hashtag gay barrel.
Gay barrel.
And then when you get the thing where the water that shoots out in Hawaii shoots them out the hole.
Yeah.
If you come from getting butt fucked, that's what that is. So, and it takes time. Every time anyone tried to put a finger in my butt, I'm like, it's not going to work out. There's something wrong with it. And then the first time a dildo in there, Katie made me orgasm a couple times. But it was still, you're putting a thing that's shaped like a dick in my ass and it's in my head and it's fucking with me.
Right.
but wow, that was an amazing orgasm. But what about that one bit at the start where I really felt like I was kind of being intruded on in an inappropriate way? Because you're programmed to think that.
Well, all right. So you've been mostly a dominant guy in your life. Like you've been a professional athlete, you've been a fighter, you've been an alpha personality in any different way. You're
in the bedroom too.
In the bedroom too. Your head's fucking tattooed. Like it's a very dominant expression. And getting something in your ass is ultimately one of the most submissive things that you can do.
Katie doesn't want to watch it.
Because it's weird, because she knows
I'm getting dominated.
Exactly.
Like I go to a mistress and she doesn't want to go to watch the mistress do stuff.
So are those kind of related? As you've gone and been a submissive to the mistress, has that made you more comfortable being submissive with something else?
It's a trust thing too. That's why I wouldn't do it with anybody. That's why it doesn't happen, because it's kind of like I'm trying to meet like a gay guy that I can trust, who I like to talk to. So it's almost like it's a boyfriend. Yeah. And that's so gay. You know what I mean? I'm not there. I'm trying to work through the barriers of this homo shit, but like I would like to have a guy I know who's my friend, who's gay as hell and is super into me.
Yeah.
And doesn't give me any STDs and can bang me.
Brokeback Mountain.
And I don't want to, if he spits on me in a 10, I'm kind of bummed out about it. But I'm still trying to, like, there's only one guy that I know that can kind of do it, but it's still not easy. But when it does work out, you're not gonna, I'm like, there's a thing in there that God's made that put in your butt where he's hidden it, and you're just coming all over the place. No girl can do that to me. My wife, nobody. I've had like 5 girls all fingering me and licking things and moving around my face all at the same time. And I've come. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Girls has won blowjob titles, have blown me while there's like other girls trying to eat my ass fighting for it. And I'm like, that's the craziest orgasm I can ever have. And then some dude bangs me in the ass for half an hour. And I'm like, I don't know how many times I came. I don't know. Like one time, it was just 2. I'm positive that I did 2 in a row where I was like, I'm like, where's another one? That's impossible. So I don't care what. It's not gay. I'm not gay. It's like the Boondock Saints. I'm not gay. A lot of it's kind of like, I don't really like bum bags. I don't really like rollerblade. You know what I mean? I don't really like girl talk. Really? You know what I mean?
And I think that's the issue with the label, right?
You're
the
labeling
label, that word has a fucking weight to it that's so crazy, because every kid growing up, and whenever something wasn't cool, whenever something like, that's fucking gay, you know, and like the fact that you might be gay would be the first thing that would ostracize you from your group, like immediately. I think that's changing now.
I get, because I really respect all the gay and transgender out there that are trying to push the envelope, because if you don't get, they're overdoing it, but it's got to be overdone so that the regular Joe understands that they exist and they're real people. So, you know, in 10 years from now, Uncle Ted he knows if you call transgender a tranny, it's inappropriate. That's you know what I mean? But the label thing, there is a price to pay, because you have to put me in it. Like when I did the Stone Show, what are you? What is it that you do? I'm like, you guys call it like a pansexual or something, but it's not. I'm not.
You're not fucking horses.
I'm just a guy that likes having sex with people.
And I think that's the problem with any label that you try to put someone in. I mean, words themselves are symbols and approximations of an idea, and labels are an even worse version of that, because they're never fucking accurate.
I mean, when you think about it, it's just saying, you know what I mean? I'm into sex, but I'm not in, but I really hate people that have sex this way. It's just like the most hypocritical.
What if we could just fucking see the world without the labels? Like, this is somebody who has a dick pleasuring his G-spot, and this is this. And it's just like, it didn't even fucking
That's
factor
how I do
that you had to label. Or if you saw someone of a different color and you're just not like, is that a black guy, or is he a mixed guy, or is that an Indian guy, or what the fuck is that? You're just like, there's a person. I recognize
that dudes' dicks, white, Indian, and black, and Asian, and some dudes' dicks stink. I don't give a fuck what color you are. And sometimes, you know what I mean? Like it can be pleasant. Same as chicks. I've had sex with a chick before. I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I just open up in there?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that was, but it's not all of a sudden, you know what I mean? Fags. And it just, I'm just, I smoke weed because it comes out of the ground, and I'm not going to get it. If you give me a ticket, I'm not paying it, because that's your made up bullshit. And if you're saying that I can't bang a dude, I'm not listening. I'm banging him, because it's your made up rule.
Right.
I'm not going for like the government's made up rules. Some I have to apply because if I don't pay taxes, I'll go to jail and won't see my kids. But I shouldn't have to pay that shit either. I'm not giving you anything anymore. I'm going to answer all of you.
It's almost like
I just want to be a podcaster as well.
It's almost like if we just acknowledge our monkeyness, like if you saw monkeys be,
you can't say that. You can say that we look like monkeys, but you can't say a black person looks like a monkey.
Yeah, you have to say everybody.
Do you know a black person is the same as a white person?
Yeah.
It's a person. But if you say it, then they're like, "Whoa, racist!" And I'm like, "Okay." So what's I say when the football commentator calls the white kid a little monkey, and then he called the black kid a little monkey, and he lost his job. He called people little monkeys.
Everybody's a fucking monkey.
I think I'm right on that one.
We're all
Am I right?
We're all fucking monkey, and that's
I got to watch it because of my tattoos and my skin on the whole monkey conversation. People could take it the wrong way. If I start talking about sucking dicks, I kind of save myself a little bit. Look at the little monkeys go. God, I'm so gay. Then I'm in the clear a little bit, you know?
You get a hall pass?
I'm going to stop. I discovered that I'm actually black, you guys.
But when you see the fucking truth, you see that like I took a heroic 6-gram mushroom dose. And like the main point of the whole mushroom dose was just to recognize the human monkeyness of everybody, right? It was without the labels and without the specialness. And it was me hanging out with my homie Kyle, you know Kyle, Kyle and Natasha and everybody. And I was just watching Kyle like pick at his feet, and he looked like this like old jacked, war chimp. And then Natasha, he was all cozy. And it was like, look at all these little fucking, all the monkeys are just being monkeys. And we were laughing and playing. And like the fact that, okay, that was his wife and this is this. And it was like, what the fuck? Everything is all boxed in and all these labels and all these titles and all these agreements and shit. This is just 5 monkeys sitting on a deck laughing their balls off and sharing some food and sharing some drink and sharing some medicine. And that's really it. And if it's the other side, it's a bunch of people in a room and they're fucking each other and enjoying the pleasure of their genitals and having a fucking laugh and getting blind and whatever the fuck they want to do. Let the monkeys just be. Let us be human monkeys without all the fucking specialness and analysis and what does this mean? What does that make me? What is it? No, just fucking be your thing. Do your thing. Fuck it.
I blame the cold. I believe the cold made white people, and I believe white people are the devil, and they made the rules.
Fuck, man, it's everywhere though, right?
No, it's not. If you were like in a tribe in Africa, can you butt fuck your buddy? Or do they stab you for butt fucking?
Probably you get stabbed. It's everywhere, right? Like the racism.
Okay, well then
the racism in Africa against like pygmies, for example, is fucking extreme.
Wait.
Pygmies.
A man?
It's a race.
A pygmy man?
It's a race of people, right?
Are they little?
They're actually pretty small.
Shut the fuck up. They're real?
That's a real race. And they get mad they're like the most racist against them amongst, because there's other different tribes and races of people so wherever you go, you find the same discrimination, you find the same bullshit, you find the sexism. I mean, look at the fucking sexism, tribal sexism that's out there.
How did Rome do what they were doing? And how did it undo?
Well, with the sexuality component, that just never got it never got labeled. It never got labeled in a weird way. That was where
Christianity?
That was where, yeah. So Constantine came in and he was the first emperor to adopt Christianity, and then the church got more and more power, and then the doctrines came in, and you're supposed to only have sex with your wife, and then this whole kind of movement came in, and then the persecution kind of came in.
Okay, so somebody had an idea of a perfect world where nobody has impure thoughts, and if they do have one, they can handle not acting on it.
Well,
if we all did that, we would all live in a place where we would all have one wife, and we'd have our little patch of vegetables in our backyard.
Or if you want to rise to power, a great way to do it: make people feel guilty about sex, and make you the one that can absolve them of their guilt and prevent them from being punishment. Because you know why? Because everybody's going to want to fuck, and they're going to want to fuck in weird ways, and they're going to do weird shit.
I like this.
So if you say, no, I'm the priest and you have to talk to me about the weird shit you want to do and I'll make sure you don't go to hell, then you always have a fucking job because you know that everybody's going to be thinking about sex and thinking about weird shit. And I think that's really where it developed.
This really adds up. I know why I have such I'm not a fan of religion, and it makes sense because I don't like people telling me what to do, and I've always felt like that was somebody telling me what to do, and breaking free from all the rules of all the people except for, I mean, I'm not going to go to jail for doing the big ones.
Yeah.
That I don't approve.
Well, the
of.
ones that hurt other people, right? Like those are actually real guidelines. Like doing something fucked up to another person, yeah, don't do that. You don't have the right. You don't have the right to hurt another human being.
That's why police
intentionally
shouldn't hide like at stop signs to give people tickets if they don't come to a complete stop. It's not good enough. You need to only give people tickets for shit that is actually
hurting people.
Stopping people from hurting people.
Yeah, for sure. Like
hiding behind the bushes with the speedometer.
And then if cool. Police, I had this conversation recently.
Or show your dick to George Michael in the bathroom. Not cool, man. You know what I mean? Like he was looking for another guy that wanted to show his genitals, and you just come in pretending you're into genitals and book him. Like what the fuck? I don't even
know what happened.
You didn't know that?
No, what happened?
Before he died, man, fucking cop was in the jerk off toilets because gay guys love to jerk off in toilets. And they got like the spots where they meet. And a fucking dude was in there, undercover cop, showed George his dick. George showed his dick. Boom. Book him, Dano.
You can't
fucking
do that.
Did that. And then put him on blast on TV. Hey, look at the homo.
If you're a cop and you show your dick and someone else shows your dick, you're not a cop anymore.
No,
the minute you show your dick, you're a civilian.
You're free is what you are.
You're a fucking civilian. You pull your pants off if you're a cop? Nope. You put yourself outside of your copdom.
Man, that's why you gotta go to Studs with your hot chick. I mean, maybe they won't. Well, I think they'll stay with you after it because I took like a hot girl to Studs.
You think they'll stay with me after? What is Studs?
Studs is like this theater where you can go in and it's like there's like straight porn in this theater and then big giant theater gay porn and another one with transgender porn in this one, and it's a proper theater. And it's like anybody can go in there. You can bring girls in there. It's super dark. And there's just dudes jerking off in there and sucking each other off and stuff. And sometimes it escalates more than that. But I went to dinner with this girl, like weightlifter chick, and my chick was home, so I didn't want to take her home. So I was like, we could go to this theater where it's like crazy gay guys. It's super creepy. It will freak you out. And she's like, yeah, I'm in. I'm like, okay. And then I took her into the transgender room and put her up against the wall and put her pants down, started banging her, and a couple of dudes come in. A couple of dudes come over to like try and touch her. And I'm like, hey, fuck off. You know what I mean? Because they know. Like you don't, like sometimes there's like drunk guys in there, they might go twice. But when it's me, that's the other thing. Like I'll be like, hey, motherfucker, don't touch me. And that's it. Nobody's going to touch me. I can knock out everybody at Studs for the rest of my life. I know that. So I'm banging this chick and every now and then I'm looking back and it's starting to escalate. There's like a lot of people. And I'm like, whoa, that's like 15 people. That's a lot of people, but no one's bothering me. You know, some dicks out and stuff. I look back and I'm like, I want to
So it's like a big jerk off circle watching you fuck your weightlifting.
Then it turned into like 35 people.
Whoa.
So there's like 35 people and it's all walks of life. And I'm looking at every now and I'm looking back and I'm like,
you're putting on a full sex show.
Yeah. There's old, young, gay and straight is what I'm seeing, is the thing that I'm noticing. There's people in there because I'm moving her shit out of the way so people can see it.
How fucking courteous of you.
Yeah, no, it's a show, you know? So I'm like moving it back, put my dick all the way out. I move her ass to the side. So you see that? That's a pussy. Like you guys know it's not because from behind you never know. Studs, it's probably fucking, a transgender girl.
Yeah, she's kind of.
So I'm like, look here. You know what I mean? Like you guys know what you're watching straight sex right now. Just making sure you're all aware of that. And everybody's pumped. And I'm like, wait a minute. I think everyone in here is just like really hard up. And they're like, there's a gay spot where you can jerk off and every now and then somebody will like grab your balls or whatever. And that's better than nothing. This is real live sex here. Holy shit. Everyone's dick was out. So I'm banging her and I finally fucking, I fucking pull the rubber off and jizz on her ass or whatever. And then I feel like I've got to say something because there's so many people there.
Take a bow or something.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden they all just start clapping.
They started clapping.
Standing ovation in this fucking theater at the first time.
I mean, was it like a one-hand clap because some of them weren't finished or?
No. Everyone dropped their dicks and fucking started clapping. And I just had my hands up in the air like, thank you. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. The girl's pulling her pants up. And she never hung out with me since, come to think of it. So maybe that isn't a good idea.
I mean, how do you fucking top that? That's the peak, actually. Of course she didn't hang out with you. What are you going to do next? What's date number 2? Fucking.
But it did make me think
Taco night, Taco Tuesday. Like, what the fuck are you going to do after that?
That she found a boyfriend. I'm like, oh, maybe it's
I wonder if she told the boyfriend that story. Probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. Is that bad?
I mean,
she didn't grab everybody else's
just starting
dick or
to
anything.
Date somebody, and their story's like, yeah, the other day I was out and this fucking got banged in a movie theater while 30 people jerked off, I'd be like, whoa.
Does it make you less of a person?
No, but I think it's hard. I think people are insecure, right? Like the average person is very insecure. Like I was having this conversation yesterday with a fucking musician friend of mine, and he was talking about how we've both encountered it. Like we have friends who they get jealous when their girls kiss other girls.
Oh, you're completely fucked.
Yeah, and that's like not uncommon.
Yeah,
like
no,
that is fucking very fucking common. Where like
that.
they'll be like the girl makes out with another. Oh, I can't believe what the fuck is wrong with you if you're so insecure that your girl making out with another girl, which could lead to very cool things for you. Yeah. By the way, if you're cool with it.
My first wife wouldn't let me jerk off.
Whoa, yeah, right? Like that's fucking insecurity. Like I own your sexuality to such a degree that you touching yourself challenges my fucking authority and purview over your cock.
I think it's
so don't do it.
I think it's so crazy how it's like you could be a bad person or have a bad thought in your mind from having sex with like a lot of people around. When it's like people like donuts. I mean, I know it's not a good idea to eat like a giant box of donuts. But don't act like it isn't cool to be into donuts and have multiple donuts to choose from at your will. You know what I mean? It's like you like sex. It's like, oh, there was like 35 dicks out. Like, it's extra
fucking
dicks.
Admirable.
It's like if I'm going to have sex and there was like 10 people around me all naked having sex next to me, I don't want to do it every day, but I'm gonna do that if that's offered to me because I'm like, what is that? What's the vibe? How do I feel about all those people around me fucking around me? Like, it sounds like it's extra. It's like, give me turbo on. Can you supercharge my turbo? Because I want it. If I'm a race car driver, you know what I mean? Like when people are like, oh, when it's girls, too many dicks makes you a whore. The guy, I mean, how could you have 4 girls on you? You're such a, like, if they were really into it and they had a good time, that's like, I got high and I had 5 pizzas. Fuck you, man. Like,
we're all fucking savages.
Yeah, be a savage.
We're all savages.
Exactly.
And that's the truth. We like all the things and we just don't admit it to ourselves. The problem is like, we have so much judgment of ourselves that like most people, most men, myself included, no way I could perform in front of 35 people jerking off. Like that would be opposite. I get distracted when the TV's on the wrong fucking station and I hear someone yapping about some random shit and like I fucking turn the TV off. I get distracted.
I did porn the other day just to like see if I could do what those people do. I was like, wait, they jizzing 2 times in an hour is like really hard. Yeah. You do that? I was like, yeah, I can do that. I just said it. I didn't even know. I don't test myself. What the fuck? And I'm old. And I was like, I'm doing it. And it's hard. Yeah. It's hard to do. Cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not easy, man.
I mean, they do those things where they ask,
try to get the second one out.
They'll have like a fan come in and try
Probably
and
can't put that I was in. It was like a fake porn. I did a porn that will never be released.
That's just like, I was actually talking about that too. So, okay, this is fucking trips me out. Porn, legal. Porn is legal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, but you can't. Yeah, no, but porn you can't pay somebody for sex.
But you can't pay to fuck somebody.
No, if you put a video camera in the corner and produce it, then you're okay to do it.
But where's the fucking line? Does it have to get released?
No.
Can you produce a porn and not release it? Does that make it prostitution? Then you go to jail?
What about Instagram? Don't put tits up. But hey, did you see this one lady getting cut out of a snake? She's dead. That's her face. Yeah, and I'm like, that's a dead person's face getting cut out of an anaconda. But I'll get flagged for some butt cheeks.
For underwear wolves butt cheeks.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys got it all like,
but all kinds of twisted. I really genuinely don't understand how the porn is legal and prostitution is illegal.
It's even worse now. You know that, right?
What? No, I don't know. I don't know anything. It doesn't make any sense.
There's a new law that Donald Trump did that all my porn friends that also do extra work when they have those ads or whatever where you can hire them. Mm-hmm. They can't. They shut all those things down. So now
what if they fucking
people
bring
are being forced to have a pimp?
What if they fucking just put a webcam up and be like, no, it's porn? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how you can
because
have
if you put because the patron that doesn't want to be in porn, that's the only thing that's stopping it.
Well,
if you're a businessman that's hiring a prostitute, you don't want that to
Yeah,
be.
well, just give them the camera. Like, here's your camera. Do whatever you want with it. It's just disposable. You can fucking destroy
Well,
it.
then
if you want.
isn't there? Then you have to have a license to film porn as well.
Oh, okay.
And then
so
they'll
there's
be
like
like
a porn filming license,
Right.
So it would be like back when there was like recreational weed, medical
Yeah.
weed. Like there'd be
Yeah.
porn license
And-
peoples, and you just get your porn
and if you
license,
do it- and if
you
you-
just fucking film yourself.
But if you did it in a way where it was started to become too successful,
Then they
they'll
would
find
come.
you out and shut you down, just like they do with the weed.
And wait, let's back up a second too, because wasn't Donald Trump fucking a bunch of porn stars?
No, my theory is that he got caught fucking that porn star who's also a sex worker and was like, "Oh yeah, watch me shut your business down." So now you want to call me out for fucking you? Now you're not a sex worker anymore.
Yeah, I just killed
Just
the
so
whole
happens
industry.
neither is anybody else in America either, but hey man, that's power. Like if you
Yeah.
want to swing a dick, what kind of a tremendous dick swing was that?
Yeah,
I just
kill
shut your whole
just kill the
everything you do
just
down.
kill the
Yeah.
industry.
Have fun talking shit about me. Your job's gone.
Or maybe it's so that they'll be so desperate that he can get them all, and he can just go to this massive fucking
you know what?
assembly hall of
If
porn
you're
stars.
if
and be
you're a
like,
bad hooker fucker, then this is great news for you because now you get pimps that have the slave sex workers that give you cheaper sex for longer, and you can be the weird guy that gets the 16-year-olds and the fucking boys.
So
all that stuff.
Yeah, and
is
again,
now-
more
is now-
regulation
that's
creates
bigger.
fucking more.
They made that
trauma.
bigger now, Aubrey, and they made the one where you're like a porn star that wants to like have sex with other guys for money because you agreed to it. That you can't do, but the boys in boxes.
Yeah, it's
is
just
bigger
so
than
fucking
ever.
stupid. Outlaw abortion. Watch the coat hangers come out.
Man,
It's the same
outlaw
fucking
abortion
It's the
is
same shit, right? Like you make something that you could do legally well illegal, and then all the bullshit comes, and it becomes more dangerous, and doesn't even curb the amount of shit that's actually happening.
Those are the ones that freak me out about the gay thing. I feel like at one point I was like, it's all going to change and we'll all be accepted. And then I'm like, wait a minute. There's like a whole bunch of people like, you're not allowed to have an abortion. And it's a full valid argument on that. And I'm like, wait, you're going to tell someone what to do with their uterus. That's you're going to make that a law. And I'm like, well, Jason, maybe you should like calm down on bringing up your sexuality, because if, 45% of people in America think that, then 45% of the people in America are not listening to your show because you're a fag.
You can't stop. You have to fucking be the tip of the spear here.
I wasn't.
You have
I'm
to- you
saying,
have
I'm
to-
saying
you're the
trains of
fuck-
thought. I'm not stopping, dude. You might. I'm glad that you're invested in it because you're a
No,
big part
man.
of my career. But if SiriusXM let me go, this could be the gay. I might have a gay podcast on the On It Network because I'm not getting like a whole bunch of offers about, hey man, you need to join us and fight with us. Everyone's just like, hey, fucking cool gay thing you're doing.
The beauty of it is that
I
you're-
am getting left alone, dude.
I love that you're getting challenged on the gay side too, where gay
Did you see
people.
Donald Cerrone find out in front of me?
No.
Watch that video.
He found out that you.
Well, he's on my show with fucking. Dude, this was one of the tougher ones for me. Like I look up to
Yeah,
Donald
of course.
Cerrone. I know he's younger than me, but I'm a mixed martial artist. I always will be, and he's a fucking god at it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on there with fucking the female champ. Fucking what's her name?
Amanda?
Oh, yeah, Nunez, and with her wife, and I'm like, it's cool that you're, a gay activist coming out like that, because I know myself being a bisexual man, and Donald's sitting right there, and he's a, what? What the fuck are you? What? What the fuck is he talking about? And now I'm talking to Amanda. There's UFC people like on this couch back here, and he's looking at them and their camera guy like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, are you fucking with me? Like, and then like I'm talking to her and I can just see he's doing that to the side of my head.
That's a fucking beautiful
And we're
moment.
cool. We're cool.
because
Like,
it
he's not
didn't-
going to say
you know
that he
why?
hates me,
'Cause
but I know that
it didn't compute. It just broke the operating system because he knows you first. And there's nothing about you, after, like knowing you, that would ever tell anybody that you suck a dick. And that's the
I've
fucking
been working
beauty
hard
of
on
it.
this life for a long time.
So like it breaks the operating system. Is Jason Ellis gay? I don't fucking know. It doesn't.
neither.
That label doesn't apply. You know, it doesn't fucking apply to you. Everything, all the stereotypes that you think that you know about a gay person, throw them out the motherfucking window. And that's what we need, to throw all those stereotypes out the window.
Well, that's another reason why we'll continue to talk about it, because that night, the next day, thought about it all day. Like, it fucked with me. And I'm not going to lie. I think I might even brought it up on the radio the next day. I'm like, I'm not all there from this. Like, that took a hit on me, and I questioned myself for like a week whether you should be doing this, you know, like because of how many people think it's wrong, or you know, people are like, you have children. You know, there was another one, someone with Jude was live, and you know, I know that's like the hip hop community is even less understanding, but it was like, I'm gonna have another book come out in next year, and it's gonna have a lot of this in there.
Yeah,
and people were like, don't do that, dog. Like, your kids are going to see it. And I'm like, that's kind of the point. Like, I'm not, I mean, when I die, dad was him. You know, like dad was always him, and he was never mean. Being bi doesn't hurt anybody. And you go, what about your kids? They're going to get picked on at school. Oh, okay. I want my kids to get picked on at school for having a bisexual father, because they need to realize how fucking stupid you are for being mean to someone who has a bisexual father. It's just like, you're just a dick.
Yeah.
And that person's going to wake up for another reason later on in life.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, you can't avoid, when you are a pioneer, you get the fucking arrows in your back. Like, that's just the fucking way of it, you know, and you have to be willing to accept that. I
never read a lot about people's books, especially anybody who was a pioneer in anything. And they always came across like they never bitched about any of the attacks that they went through. You know what I mean? There was always like, you know what I mean? They can think what they want, but you know what I mean? I know what I'm doing.
Right.
But I wonder sometimes if people wouldn't go, man, this is kind of fucking heavy. You're kind of regret.
No doubt. You know, and it's fucking super heavy. It's got to be. And like, you know, you think MLK didn't feel the burden of the racism that he was
definitely want to
against?
put me and him together. It makes sense. That's who I was going to refer to. Yeah, I mean, like
the first ever comparison of you,
Martin Luther King and Jason Ellis. I mean, he fought for something, and I'm sure there was times there he was like, maybe I shouldn't be fighting for this. I too carry this burden.
I have a dream when someday you can suck a dick.
Everybody gets butt fucked and feels good about it. Yep. You, sir, butt fuck. Come on in. Till that day, I will not rest. Yeah, there I'll be hanging out in the church telling people to butt fuck, and then some homo is going to be like, boom.
There it is.
There it is.
And if that's the way you go out, they'll be the Jason
dude,
Ellis
the
monument.
warrior in me is like, I don't want to die of old age. I definitely would like to die in a fight, you know? Like, it would be cool if they had like a war.
What was that fucking crazy Aussie guy that made his own body armor and like got in a bunch of gunfights?
No, wait. Oh, Ned Kelly.
Ned Kelly.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I've got Ned Kelly statues in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said they were going to hang him and like, do you have any last words? And he was like, so it's come to this, such is life.
Gangster.
Yeah. And
but wait, he created like his own fucking metal.
He made a metal helmet with a little fucking slit in it so I could see through it, and then metal plates over his chest and little metal armbands. I mean, and things off his sleeves up here, but he didn't have him in the legs. That's how they got him. They shot him in the legs. And
so he was just like a tank,
yeah,
just going forward, robbing banks.
Yeah, they got Aboriginal trackers to track him, and the Kelly boys were like really good in the bush, and they caught the tracker and cut his balls off and used it as a gunpowder pouch, and that was like word got out. You know what I mean? Like they hired Aboriginals to track the Kelly gang, and the Kelly gang used their testicles as gunpowder pouches. So maybe get another idea.
So you're somewhere between Ned Kelly and Martin Luther King. That's who you are. We fucking figured it out.
Gay shell. It's getting smaller and smaller by the second, man. Oh my God.
Well, this is one of my favorite podcasts ever.
Oh,
thanks, brother.
I like doing this. Like I said, man, hire me. Gonna need it soon. We get too much activism going on.
Your show got moved to a new time.
Yeah. Now I'm the afternoon king. Not everybody's happy about it. I don't know. I can't win, man. I gave up. Yeah, so I'm the what is it? It's 2 to 5 West Coast, which is 5 to 8 East Coast with an immediate replay. So it's 5 to 8 East Coast and West Coast, channel 103. And then Ellistronics, the podcast, is now on the weekends.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
All kinds
with
of
Honor
shit.
commercials in there.
Boom.
Man,
Yeah,
I
go
love fighting
nuclear
for
on
those.
that.
It's the most fun I have when people when a corporate person tells me this is how something's going to be, and I tell the corporate person they're sorely mistaken, and this is how it's going to be, and then word comes back to me.
So it's come to this.
Word comes back to me that person had to like swallow it. I'm like, just personal little things in my life, man, that I fucking, you know what I mean? I put my socks on with a smile on my face in the morning. I'm like, fucking commercials, man. I do them long too, long and slow. Onnit.com/Ellis. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Good shit, brother.
Thanks
for
for having
hanging
me.
out. Thanks, everybody. Peace.